History Connection. That was kind of a project that I had started, my love of history and really sharing that with the community. So this is kind of the beginnings of that. So I'm really happy that you all can be here and appreciate, one of my first performances. For those who are interested, historyconnection.net, kind of some fun projects coming up. We're working on the wall. The wall's coming to Petaluma, the Vietnam Memorial Wall. Also, we have a space shuttle astronaut coming later this year, Rex Walheim. He was on STS-135. That was the final shuttle flight, so good stuff coming. What can I say? We're all here for a reason. Some of us are here to be entertained, and you absolutely will be. Some of you are here to be healed, and you might be healed more than you could possibly imagine. There's folks here who are here for the history, and you're going to see quite a bit of that. And those of you who are here for the veterans, thank you so much. This is kind of what this is about. Tony has come from Arizona to kind of help support our community. So if you see that little balloon over there, if you can open your heart, we're trying to fill up our little bucket over there. If you want to drop a few dollars in there, that'd be greatly appreciated. So that'll go directly back to the veterans in this community, and certainly they can't be thanked enough. Now for the special friends in the audience, you all mean so much to me. I can't tell you that. Your friendship, your support has impressed me throughout the years and kind of given me that push to keep going. You're all incredible people for everything you do. You truly set the standard high here in Petaluma. All of you have an individual mission, an individual goal, and you're changing the world. And because of that, I'm extremely grateful. And I was trying to think, what can I say that's kind of profound to all of you? And I found a really wonderful quote that I'm going to share to you. I believe in angels, the kind that heaven sends. I'm surrounded by angels, and I call them friends. So that's for you. Tonight, Tony Redhouse, an absolutely amazing performer, certainly someone I'm extremely honored to call my friend. It's really hard to describe Tony. Nothing really completely captures, who he is. He's been called a healer. He's been called a guide, Grammy-nominated performer. He has at least 2 or 3 Native American awards. Just an incredible performer. But he's also one of those people who, really speaks from the heart. He's been anywhere from reality TV to working with drug-addicted women. So he's changing lives one by one, and I'm just so happy to be able to share him with you tonight. So with that, Tony Redhouse.
Good evening. My name is Tony Redhouse. I'm very honored to be here today in your presence. Thank each and every one of you for being here. I've looked forward to coming back to Petaluma, and I want to thank Joe for coordinating my trip here and for letting everybody know that I would be here, and I'm so glad that each and every one of you are here. I share my music in a number of different places. Can you hear me okay out there? Yeah. I share my music in the hospice, which is the most significant way for me to share my music is in a hospice. I go into the hospice, I play the flutes, I take my drum, I do a heartbeat on the drum, and sometimes I just go down the hallways and I just simply go, and sometimes that's all we need. It's just a little hum, a little lullaby to allow us to have that peaceful place in life. Sometimes that is what allows us to be able to transition, that allows us to be able to move into whatever recovery, whatever healing that we need in life. And so I also share my music in drug addiction centers, and I allow the music to help them to relax so they can begin thinking about healing from their addiction to drugs. I worked in a women's rehab in Tucson for 6 years, meth, heroin, cocaine addicts. And now I'm working with an outpatient recovery center. But I also work with cancer patients, and I use my music to help them. Sometimes as they're going through radiation, as they're going through therapy, as they're going through treatment, they'll listen to my music and it helps them to find a peaceful place. So it's beautiful to be able to use music, to be able to use your gift in a way that will touch one soul, one person. That's all that matters. If we can impact one person in life and make a difference in that one person, then we have completed our mission while we're on this earth. And so I'm very grateful to be able to share the gifts that I have. I'd like to share a dance with you at this time. And this dance is called an eagle dance. And when you think about the eagle, many times you think about, oh, how majestic that eagle is, flying high in the sky, way up there. Have you ever seen an eagle flying? Have you ever seen them swoop down on a fish in the lake at 150 miles an hour, just go whoosh? They're so wonderful to watch. But you know, that eagle teaches us a story. As in our Native American culture, we look at nature, we observe it, we watch how animals, how birds live, how they act, and we learn from them. And one thing that we learn from the eagle is that it takes 2 wings to fly. You can't fly with 1 wing. You can't fly with one side. So it takes the right wing and the left wing, not politics, for that eagle to be able to fly successfully. It takes both wings. Now, in Native American tradition, we believe that these 2 wings are like 2 energies. One side is the male side, one side is the female side. And if you have a healthy society, and you have the male role that is healthy and is respected, and you have the female role that is healthy and respected, then you have a society that's going to be able to soar to its highest dreams. When you have a person, when you have that male side of you, and you have that female side of you, that ability to be able to take care of business, to go after what you need in life, to survive, and that ability to be able to relax, and to be able to receive help and receive love from others, then you have a healthy life. And so this is what we learn from the eagle, is that we have both wings working, and we want to be able to spread our wings, And we want to be able to soar to our highest dreams. So I want you to just imagine yourself being that eagle and being able to soar to the thing that you want the most. What do you want the most right now? What is your dream? What is the thing that you really would love to be able to do right now? And I want you to think about being that eagle and being able to soar effortlessly, not like a sparrow going. Have you ever seen a sparrow going into a strong wind like this and staying in the same place and then getting tired and just falling down? No, the eagle just simply spreads his wings and lets the hot thermals of air, the currents of wind lift him up effortlessly, only having to flap 5 or 6 times every hour just to get going, and the rest of the time just relaxing and spreading your wings. So I'm going to be sharing with you an eagle dance now. How many of you are World War II veterans here? Anybody? You know, my father was in World War II, and he was in the U.S. Army. And my father shared a lot of his culture, the Navajo culture, Dene, from the Four Corners area, Tisnaspas, Arizona. And he taught me a lot of what I'm sharing with you. All the beadwork that I made, everything that I made by hand, was something that takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. And just like I was teaching dream catchers earlier, you put your soul, you put your personality into what you make with your hands. Everything that you touch in life is going to leave your mark, huh? Isn't that true? The children that you bring into this world, they're going to have your mark on them. How we look at that homeless person down the street, and if we smile at that person and shake their hand and treat them with respect, we're going to leave our mark. We're going to leave our imprint on this world. And in Native American culture, we believe that we are a part of all this beautiful universe, and that we connect with everything. That's why we can talk to the animals, talk to the birds, talk to the clouds, talk to the sun, talk to the moon, because we believe that we're one big family. And isn't it so much better when we treat everything with respect? When we are respectful of the earth, respectful of the water, respectful of each other, and we're able to get along with each other in a beautiful way and create harmony. You know, there's a symbol that we use for life is the circle of life. And so the hoop is like a circle of life that goes around and around. It has 4 different places marked on it. It has a beginning in the east direction. This is our birth. We have our teenage years in the south. We have our middle ages in the west. And we have our senior years up here in the north. And so this is a beautiful picture of our circle of life. You know, in Native American culture, we use a lot of symbols. Something like an eagle feather is something that we pray with, because we want our prayers to go up to the heavens. And we want the eagle to carry our prayers up on his wings to the heavens. And so there's a lot of beautiful symbolism in Native American culture. But when you take your circle of life, the circle of your life that goes around and around, and hopefully our life goes around pretty smoothly. And when you take your circle of life, your cycle of human life, and you connect your circle of life with the animal life and the plant life cycle, and you connect that with the lunar cycle, and you connect all of those circles with the Indian motorcycles. And this is what happens when all of us come together. We create the universe. The universe is one big circle of all of us connected together in a beautiful way, and we make the universe complete. We make it a place of harmony. We make it beautiful. We make it healed. We heal the universe when we can come together in peace and create this beautiful universe. And so we want to be able to do this in life. That's why I'm sharing with you
Today,
that's why I'm sharing my culture with you. Because in the end, we're all the same. We're human beings. We need each other. We want to bless each other. We want to share what's beautiful in our culture with each other. All of us and our ancestors, we have the voice, the drum, and the flute. So if you go back to your history, whether you're Irish and Celtic, African, Asian, Chinese, South American, North American, Canadian, all of us, Eastern European, all of us at the very beginning had the voice, the drum, and the flute. And so when we hear those sounds, very simple sounds, they take us back to that beginning. When things were simple, when things were clear, when there was no confusion. And so it's beautiful for us to go back to these simple sounds and to be able to go back to a simple life. I'm going to use some simple sound now, and I'm going to take you into a peaceful place. And I want you to sit down in a relaxed way, get comfortable, just like you're sitting at home in your living room. Kick your shoes off, sit back and relax. I'm going to take you on a little journey. I'm going to use some simple sound, and I'm going to take you to a beautiful place in your mind. And I want you to travel with me and let the sound take you somewhere beautiful, okay? Just allow the music to take you somewhere where you can be healed, where you can go back to that beautiful place of peace and tranquility, serenity. And see if you can receive some healing right now. Maybe you're going through a difficult time. Maybe you're going through transition. Maybe there are problems in the family. But you know what? Inside of ourselves, we can go into that place of refuge, that place where the Spirit is at. And we can find a beautiful place where we can find that peace. So I'm going to take you on a little journey. And I'd like you just to go with me. And as I take you on this journey, and you close your eyes, I want you to just feel what the music does to you, okay? So sometimes when you hear a sound, it makes you remember something. Your memories come up, your childhood. All of these things begin to come up to the surface that are way down there. Because many times they get stuffed down because we get so busy and life gets so complicated that we forget about who we are inside. So I want you to get in touch with who you are right now. And I'd like you just to close your eyes. And I'd like you just to be still long enough to feel. Meditation is a complicated word. For Native Americans, it just means being still long enough to feel. Feel who you are, what you want to be. And so I'm going to take you on a little journey. And let me guide you. I'm going to use simple sound and just enjoy the ride, okay? The crystal sea that sparkles bright, bringing waves of healing over me. Where the sun did always rise, I now stand there tall and clear. Only peace, there is no fear. Because love has brought me Thank you very much. How do you feel? Relaxed? What else? Peaceful? And did you have any pictures come up in your mind? Memories, thoughts, feelings? What did you come up? What came up? Yeah.
I was seeing Buffalo.
Buffalo. Okay. Anybody else?
Babbling Brook.
Babbling Brook.
At the ocean.
The ocean. You know why? Because the simple sound took you back to your intuition, took you back to that person inside of you. And that intuition, that soul inside of you that has always been there is connected to the ocean, is connected to nature, is connected to all of these beautiful things around us, is peaceful, is relaxed. Can you believe that? That you're really relaxed inside? Because we get so busy with so many things that we forget that inside of us, in the deepest part of us, is peace, relaxation, connection with nature, feeling a part of all of this beautiful world around us. And we get so far away from that, huh? We get so far away from that very simple place. So it's very nice to be able to take simple sound and to allow us to go to that beautiful place. I'd like to get some of you involved right now, and we're going to have some fun, okay? So what I'd like to do is I'd like to tell a little story, and we're going to use musical sound effects. Now, that place inside of us that we went to, that very simple place, was where we were at when we were a child. Did you know that? When you were a child, you had that peaceful place. Many times when we're alone, we're able to be calm, we're able to be relaxed, we're able to be connected to nature. And when we were children, we were not afraid to try things. What happened? Now we're afraid to try anything. We're afraid to take a risk. You know why? Because if we get judged and we get criticized, then we begin to have fear. So we want to go back to that beautiful place where there is no fear, because there is no judgment and there is no criticism. And there's no comparison about you with somebody else. You just are who you are, a beautiful person. So we're going to create a musical story using sound effects. And we're not going to practice, and we're not going to rehearse. We're just simply going to do it like little kids, having fun, but we're going to create something magical. So I want you to come up. I want as many of you as possible, I want you just to come up here to the front of the stage, and I'm going to hand you an instrument, and you're going to be part of a story that we're going to tell, and we're going to use sound effects. And we're not going to rehearse, we're just simply going to be part of that story. And I'm going to take you on a Native American story. And I'm going to tell a story, and you're going to be part of that beautiful story. And all of us together are going to create this beautiful sound of harmony. And we're all going to play our part in this. So I want you to come up. Be like little kids. Don't be afraid. Come on. Sound of dancing, okay? Great. Laura, you're going to be excited. Okay. Excited, okay? You're going to be the thunder. You're going to be the wind. Good job for everyone's head, okay? Okay. You look like a serious person. Okay. You're going to be the sound of an elephant, so you just blow that hole right there. Okay? You're going to be the sound of a duck. You just blow that hole right there. Okay? There you go. Wind. There you go. You got Woodpecker on meth. You're going to be excited. Excited? Oh. You need some thunder? Heartbeat number 2. Heartbeat number 2. Heartbeat number 3. Heartbeat number 3, okay? You can do both. Okay, ready? That's the wind. That's the wind. You're going to be heartbeat number 4. Heartbeat number 4, okay? So we can also do 2 things at different times, okay? Alright, so now, here we go. So we're going to tell a story spontaneously, just like children. One more person. Okay, I'm going to have you also do this. You're going to be excited. You're dancing, excited. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to tell a story using musical sound effects. We're going to be like a bunch of kids. We're not going to practice. We're not going to rehearse. Because there are no expectations in unconditional love. You don't have to look a certain way, sound a certain way, behave a certain way. Those are expectations that are put on us by society and other people and our families and everybody else. Say you're supposed to be like this. Well, we're going to throw that out the window and we're just going to be in the moment. So now here we go. We're going to be like kids, and I guarantee you this. When you do this, you're going to be 10 years younger in your heart. And you're going to bring joy into your life that you have not had in a long time. And freedom that you have not experienced because you've been closed. Now you're going to open up your heart. This is going to heal you, okay? So I want you to know that. After you do this, things are going to be different for you. So I want you to really enjoy this time because healing can be fun. One day, there was a young warrior named Spotted Eagle. Spotted Eagle was walking down the mountain. He was coming down into the valley. As he was coming down the valley, he started to walk across the Golden Gate Bridge. And Spotted Eagle began to walk into the fields. And as he was walking into the fields, he began to hear the birds chirping and singing to him. And as he was walking farther, he heard a duck. Sounded kind of sick, but it was a duck. And so, blow it harder. Really hard. There you go. It was a squeaking duck. The kind they have in Chinatown. Okay, so as he was walking through the fields, he began to hear his heartbeat number 1. And his heart was healthy. He was alive. He was glad to enjoy the sunshine. The wind was blowing through his hair. He just felt so glad to be alive. And each moment is a gift. And as he began to walk farther, keep on, good. He began to hear the wind blowing. And then in the distance, he began to hear a heartbeat number 2. And there was another person, and their heart was beating together with his heartbeat. And they were at peace with one another. And there was no war. And there was no terrorism. And there was no fighting. There was peace on the earth. And as he went a little bit farther, as both of their hearts were beating together and they were both healthy and glad to be alive, they began to hear the thunder in the distance. They heard the thunder in the distance. And then they began to hear the wind blowing stronger. And then they began to hear the rain fall. And it was so refreshing to feel the rain falling on them that they got excited. They got excited. And then it got quiet again. And they began to just hear their 2 heartbeats together. And then they heard a third heartbeat. Heartbeat number 3. And there was another person, a third person, and his heart also was beating, and he was healthy, and he was alive, and he was joyful. And then they went a little bit farther, and they heard a 4th heartbeat. And all of our hearts were beating together, and we were at peace with one another. There was harmony in the earth, and we were so excited that we began to dance. We felt like dancing. We started dancing. What? We started dancing. Good. Now put the hips around. Put the salsa. Good. And then it got really quiet again. And we just heard the 4 hearts beating together. And then we began to sit down under a tree. And we decided to meditate, to be still long enough to feel. And as we were meditating, we began to have a dream. And in our dream, we were under the water. And we could hear the echo under the water. We could see the whales swimming with us and the dolphins. And we were underwater in our dream. And as we were swimming underwater, we got excited. Because SpongeBob was chasing us. So we jumped out of the water really quick. And all we could hear were our hearts beating. But our hearts were beating faster because we were excited. And then we sat under the tree and we decided to meditate. We were meditating. And then we heard these woodpeckers. And
they sounded like they were on meth. Or they were eating too much sugar. They had a sugar high. And as we sat under the tree and began to meditate with just our hearts beating, we began to relax. And as we were sitting on the island underneath the palm tree, we saw an elephant. And he had a really high voice. So we got excited again. And then it got really quiet. We sat down, we heard our hearts beating. Did I miss anybody? Okay. And as we were sitting down, relaxing, we thought about how beautiful the day was. And as the day, we were thinking about how wonderful it was for us to connect with nature, with each other, to be able to dream. And then the wind started to blow again. We heard the wind blow. Watch out for it. And the wind was blowing. And then we heard the thunder in the distance. And then we heard the rain start to fall, and it felt so refreshing. And then we thought about being underwater again. And we were so joyful that we started to dance. We got excited. And then it got really quiet again. And our hearts were beating. And the sun started to go down. And the day was coming to a close. And all we could think about was what a gift it was to be alive. Each moment, each heartbeat, each breath is a miracle. It is a gift to cherish. To be able to be with your loved ones. To be able to look into the eyes of your pet, of your dog, of your cat. To be able to be surrounded with your children, with your grandchildren, with your friends. To be able to sit and be able to spend time with those that you care about. And most of all, just to be alive and to know that the Spirit is watching over you, protecting you, blessing you each moment. And then it got really quiet with our hearts beating together. We got ready to go to sleep. And then we looked up in the sky. And the stars started to twinkle at us. And we lay down and we went to sleep. And we were so grateful for another day of life. Thank you very much. Give them a hand. Beautiful. Beautiful. So that you're welcome. Each of you are a beautiful part of the song and dance called life. Each of you have a unique sound, a unique personality. No matter how quirky, no matter how different you are, each of you are special and you are part of this story called life. Each of you are contributing this blessing that we have. So I want you to know, I want you to experience that because each of you do have your part. You don't have to be a performer like me. You could just be somebody that is that is touching another life, that is shaking another hand, that is smiling at somebody, and you are doing your part. That's making a difference in this world. And so all the animals, all the birds, the mountains, the ocean, the stars, the sun, the moon are all also connected with us in creating this beautiful song and dance called life. Just like what we did right here. And we're spontaneous, we're simply just doing this in the moment. And this is what freedom is about. When you can be so free that you can be spontaneous and create something beautiful with 20 other people, that's pretty amazing. Without even rehearsing it, okay? That is beautiful. And we're able to do that. And we were able to create that right now. And so I want to thank you for doing that. I'd like to share a dance with you that represents some of what we're talking about. And this is a dance that is bringing all the circles together in a beautiful way. And it is a hoop dance. And the hoop dance is a story dance. It's not just a dance for exhibition. Many times it is a dance for competition. I have lots of friends that are champion hoop dancers, and they do compete. I don't compete. I use it as a message. And a message of how we just united together and we created something beautiful. And so the hoops, when they come together and when they unite and when I join them together, it's like different circles of life that are coming together and creating something beautiful, making a beautiful design in life. You can do so much more when all of us come together than you can of just one hoop, with just one person trying to reach out. When it's just one person that is trying to reach out. When it's just one person trying to reach out, you can only reach so far. When we all connect together, then we're able to make a bigger design that is able to connect into the universe and make a bigger impact on lives when we come together. That's what the hoop dance is about. It's about circles of life connecting and making a difference. Making a beautiful design. And so I'm going to be using hoops to be able to create a design. I'm going to tell the story of my life. And my life is a very colorful life. And a lot of ups and downs, a lot of changes, a lot of performances. Since I was, you can see in my photo album over there, when I was 6 years old, I was on stage, just like this, in an auditorium, on a stage like this, dressed in my little regalia. In fact, this was my little breechcloth right here that I wore here when I was 6 years old. My mom made this for me, and I found it in her bedroom under some boxes. When I was trying to clean up around her room and around her bed so she wouldn't trip, I found this that she made me over 50 years ago. I found this. And she even put little bells on the side. But this was what I wore when I was little. And what I danced with when I was a little boy. And I had very gentle sound, very, very, very soft sound bells. And as I became a teenager, my breechcloth became stronger, a stronger design, more identity. You know, when you're a teenager, you want to make your identity known, huh? Remember when you're a teenager? Sometimes you wore your hair different because even your mom and dad didn't like it, but you wore it because you wanted to make an impact. You wore clothes that maybe were very, very unique, that made a statement. So you had very strong energy as a teenager. I had very strong energy. That's when you really excel and you really do develop quickly. So and so you know what, even my sound was different. When I walked into a room, when I was dancing, you knew I was coming into the room. Now, I did a beaded design on this breechcloth, which is the sun setting on my life. And the bells are going back to being gentle. Gentleness in life. We can be strong, we can be very assertive, but sometimes it's good just to have gentleness. And when you touch lives, when you touch people. Recently I went to an animal shelter in Arizona. They asked me to come into the animal shelter and to do a blessing, wearing this and blessing all the animals, the cats and the dogs that were in the animal shelter. You know why they wanted me to bless them? Because they wanted me to pray for all of these cats and dogs to get adopted. That's why I went in there, to say a prayer for them and to play my flute and to play my drum and to go past all of the dogs' cages and all the kitty cats and to calm them down. And you know what? They loved it. And as a result of that, they got so much attention at their animal shelter that a lot of the animals got adopted. So whatever we do, we use our gift and we share from our hearts, it makes a difference. When we do it in a gentle, meaningful way, it changes lives. And so this is going to be a hoop dance, and I'm going to unite the hoops together, join them together, and make beautiful designs. I'm going to tell you a story. When I was a little boy, my dad wanted us to hoop dance. I was raised in Monterey Bay. I was born in Monterey General Hospital because my dad was in the U.S. Army, World War II. And so my dad wanted us to hoop dance. He was a sergeant in the U.S. Army. He had 3 stripes on his arm. He had a crew cut. He cut his hair, crew cut. And my dad was a very firm man. And he was a man of very few words. So when he told us to do something, we didn't argue. We didn't complain. We didn't whine. We just said, "Yes, sir." And my dad wanted us to hoop dance, 4 little boys. And he went around looking for some willow branches to make some beautiful, nice, round, flexible hoops out of willow branches. My dad couldn't find willow branches. So my dad found poison oak branches. And he made these beautiful, nice, round, poison oak branches, hoops. And he handed them to us, and he said, "Practice hard." What did we say? "Yes, sir." And we went in and out of the hoops, practicing hard, and then we started to scratch and scratch and scratch hard until we were raw. And you'll see where the hoops go when I do the hoop dance. So it's very uncomfortable. Some of you know where the hoops go. So what happened was we got laid out. We couldn't do anything. We were so raw, scratching, that my mom and dad went and bought a bunch of calamine lotion for us and coated us with all the white stuff. And we couldn't dance anymore or do anything. That was a lesson that I learned as a little boy, that if you work through all the itchiness and all the discomfort and all the pain and all the heartache and all of the disappointment and all of the loss and all of the grief and all of the addiction and all of the rejection, and what you end up with in life is you end up with something beautiful. And so that's what the hoop dance is. It is the story of my life.
And I will make designs that represent the memories, the special memories in my life as a little boy. I'm going to make designs like the egg, the eagle's egg, the nest, the baby eagle, the full-grown eagle, the butterfly, the hummingbird. The ability to do the impossible, like a hummingbird hovers its wings 600 times a minute, or like an insect. The ability to do the impossible, because sometimes life can seem impossible. When we're diagnosed with illnesses and we don't know whether we're going to live or not, sometimes it can be very difficult. When you go through a divorce, when you lose a relationship, it can be difficult. The butterfly opening its wings, the metamorphosis, the blossoming of your life into your full beauty, your potential. The eagle, the full-grown eagle that's able to spread its wings and soar effortlessly. So all of these designs are beautiful designs that represent my journey in this life. And I'm going to make a design of Mother Earth, the globe, the universe with all the hoops and all the circles of life connected together. And I'm going to do a design called Mickey Mouse. All of the designs tell a story. Mickey Mouse tells a story of me going to Disneyland when I was a little boy. Mom and Dad took us 6 kids to Disneyland, and I got on that little Autobahn and drove that little car around on the freeway. And I thought I was going so fast. I thought that the car was going to go off the tracks. I was worried. And you know what? Now people tell me you go on there with your children or your grandchildren as an adult, and it goes so slow. So this is going to be a hoop dance. I hope you enjoy it. But before I do this dance, I'm gonna do one more thing for you. This dance is also a healing, because as I go into the hoop, I'm passing myself into a new life. It's a rite of passage. I'm bringing myself into a new era, into a new season, into a new existence. This is my new CD called Harmony of the East and West.
Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya.
I'll be here to visit with you. If you want to get pictures with me, I'd love for you to pick up a CD from me, and I'll sign it for you. I have postcards also. A number of those were taken from National Geographic photo shoots that I do with some of the classes there. So, love to visit with you. Thank you for taking your time, your energy to learn about me, to learn about what my message is, and I appreciate each and every one of you, your lives, your circle connecting to my circle, to all of our circles connecting together and making something very beautiful in the end. So thank you so much for being a part of this circle called the universe, the circle of circles. And thank you, Joe, for helping to bring me out here. I appreciate all of your wonderful work, your family, and give Joe a hand. Thank you so much for allowing me to bring some healing to your lives today, and for you to become free, for you to enjoy life completely, joyfully, wonderfully. Thank you for doing that with me, okay? Have a beautiful evening.